Silent way is a teaching approach that the teacher uses in order for the children or learners to discover the language instead of just repeating what the teacher says.
The Tip of the Iceberg by Tarlit-Alejo. I am presently enrolled at Brigham Young University, Idaho online program, and I'd like to share with you one of the teaching approaches that I have learned this week, which is the silent way approach. Silent way approach to language learning. Silent way originated in the early 1970s and was the brainchild of the late Caleb Cataneo. In the silent period, the students are solely responsible for figuring out things on their own. The three basic tenets of the approach are: number one, that learning is facilitated if the learner discovers rather than remembers or repeats. Number two, that learning is aided by physical objects. And that, number three, problem solving is central to learning. Presentation of language. Silent way adopts a highly structural approach, with language taught through sentences in a sequence based on grammatical complexity, described by some as a building block approach. Cuisinart rods. The structural patterns of the target language are presented by the teacher, and the grammar rules of the language are learned inductively by the learners. Cuisinart rods, small colored blocks of varying sizes originally intended for the teaching of mathematics, are often used to illustrate meaning. Cuisinart rods. Advantages. Learning through problem solving looks attractive, especially because it fosters creativity, discovery, increase in intelligent potency, and long-term memory. The indirect role of the teacher highlights the importance and the centrality of the learner, who is responsible in figuring out and testing the hypothesis about how language works. In other words, teaching is subordinated to learning. Disadvantages. The silent way is often criticized of being a harsh method. The learner works in isolation, and communication is lacking badly in a silent way classroom. With minimum help on the part of the teacher, the silent way method may put the learning itself at stake. The materials, such as the rods and the charts used in this method, will certainly fail to introduce all aspects of language. Other materials will have to be introduced. Teacher's role. The teacher is a technician or an engineer who facilitates learning. The teacher's role is one of neutral observer, neither praise nor criticize, merely looks for continued improvement. The teacher is silent. The teacher's presence in the classroom is limited to providing a model for the language that the students are going to work on.